Well, folks, it's time for another tool review. Episode 2 of Tool Review. So if you watch this video, give it a thumbs up if it's good. If it's not, give it a thumbs down so I won't do any more. I call this the tool review failed, because the tool I bought really failed. And I kind of knew that from just looking at pictures and watching other videos. I probably watched 20 videos on this particular tool. And this tool would be a tungsten sharpener. So if you're a TIG welder, a tungsten sharpener is not a must, but it's a very helpful tool. It's a clean grind, it's a good grind, and you're supposed to get the angle that you want every time, the same time, and all that. So I worked at a welding shop for years. I was a TIG welder. I never used a tungsten grinder. We had a regular grinder. You go over to the bench, stick it in the machine and keep going. I never heard of these tungsten grinders until last few years. So I thought, well, that seems cool. I looked into them and they're $300, $400. You can buy a $1,000 tungsten grinder. But Eastwood came back, I don't know, fairly recent, maybe the last 3 months, with an affordable tungsten grinder. What I call affordable, 115 bucks. So I debated about it. I thought I'm not really sold on the design, but you go online and you can buy heads for 60 bucks or so, and then you buy a Dremel and you screw it onto the Dremel. There you go. For virtually the same price, 115, 120 bucks. So I thought, well, I kept researching, and I thought, well, I'm gonna get a trick. I'm gonna get a cordless Dremel, screw on one of these $60 heads, and I'm gonna be king. But then if you start looking around there, they say that you need a lot of power to run the tungsten grinder, and I didn't want to keep charging batteries, and I didn't want to get one that didn't have enough power, whatever. I went ahead and bought the Eastwood because I saw a lot of reviews and people said it was good bang for the buck. So, I'm just not with it at all. Here's the deal. You see if you can get over here. How good is that? So you have slots for your tungsten to go into. There's 4 slots. 2 small, 2 big. 2 for the larger tungsten, 2 for the smaller. 1 for one angle, 2 angles each. They're going to give you, it says in the box, they're going to give you for 1/16 tungsten and 3/32 tungsten. One is a 22.5 degree angle and one is a 10 degree angle. Okay, perfect. Most people supposedly use a 22.5. And they even give you this little slot here to snap your tungsten off if you get dirty tungsten. Which I tried it for the heck of it, and most of you have used the tungsten and you've broken them off before. You break it off, it fractures halfway down, you waste your stick of tungsten. It didn't work out. Some of these tungsten grinders, they have where this wheel is exposed on the edge, and you can usually just use this and cut the tungsten off versus snapping it off. Like I said, yeah, it works sometimes. Sometimes you fracture it halfway down. A lot of people say don't break it off. When I worked at the shop, we used to break it off in the vise because that's just what we did. So, that being said, I would say, let me give you another example. So, it's very hard to hold, very hard to hold the tungsten in that groove at the proper angle. Hold it down in that groove and get it. And then you got to be really smooth with your spin, because when you turn it, if you're jabbing it in and out, it's horrible. So, I had a brand new pack of tungsten. I don't know what's in there, 8, 10 tungsten rods. Took every single one and I tried to sharpen it and get the hang of it. So I will show you these. These are the 3 best grinds I got. And these weren't even the last ones that I did, so see that? Not saying that you can't get a good grind, it's just that it is very difficult to get it. I hope that's showing up here. Maybe this will work better. I was hoping I could get a better view of that. There we go. There we go. See that? Now the other thing is that can you determine what angles those are? Because those were not all done on the same angle, right? Yeah. So my next point is, when you use it, your tungsten just comes out like this. Impossible to get your 11 degree. Matter of fact, I held my little degree finder up, and this is a 60 degree angle. It's not even supposed to do that. It's supposed to do an 11 or 22 and a half. Sorry, 10 or 22 and a half. I got a 60. And I did 10 grinds with brand new tungsten. It wasn't ate up, tore up, brand new. Anyway, I call it a tool fail. I wouldn't spend the money unless, my only thing is now I got a really good quality die grinder, which I'm going to go on eBay and buy a new head, and I'm going to screw this one off, put it in the trash, and screw on another one that has holes, and it's labeled. I don't know what these angles are. It's not labeled. Can you see that thing? What does that tell you? Nothing. Can you see the difference in those things? No, you can't. It's difficult. It's just, I'm not impressed. So I'm going to take this off, put it in the trash, and go order me one. I found a nice one. Forgot the name, but one with holes. Holes, stick it in, pencil sharpener, done. I think that's better bet. But here's the deal. If you don't have a tungsten grinder and you want to purchase something to grind your tungsten, I think the best way to do it is to go get you a bench grinder. They have little small Harbor Freight bench grinders. Get you one of those. They have nice, real smooth grinding wheels you can buy for them. Put the grinding wheel on there. Say, okay, the right wheel is steel. The left wheel is I'm going to grind tungsten that's been welded with aluminum. So you keep them separate. You can get you a nice bench grinder for, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks, a little small one over at Harbor Freight or Home Depot or something. I think that's a better method. I can hold the tungsten against that grinder because that's the way I've always done it. That's the way I learned how to do it. You hold it, you rotate it with your fingers, boom, it's faster. This actually takes me, I watched a video where it took a guy, he actually timed himself and it took him like 30 seconds to grind the tungsten on this. You can't even hold that thing in 30 seconds, your hands are hurting. You're gonna get arthritis before you grind your tungsten. I really think that that's a waste of money. So I went back and I thought, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I rewatched a couple of these videos. Well, then I saw that the guy says, oh, well, I'm sponsored by Eastwood company. Well, of course, if I was getting money for it, it'd be great, but it's not. So I think it's a tool fail. I wouldn't waste my money. If you want to grind some tungsten, I think there's other options. So that's about all I got for that. So thanks for watching. Like I said, if it's good, let me know if you got questions, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. If you think I wish I could demonstrate it, but I had a cheeseburger. My hands are a little greasy, and there's no way I can hold that tungsten in the machine and do it. So there's plenty of other videos where guys are grinding tungsten. You don't really want to watch it. It's boring. So let me know what you think. Thanks.